People probably think it's a little extravagant. Now, when you present the service contract, you should go through this menu in less than 3 or 4 minutes. Do not sell off the menu. The menu is only to find what they would buy if you don't have to sell it. Are there a number of customers that would buy a service contract if you just shut the hell up? Right? But we got people wanting to do a 30-minute menu presentation on people that would buy it if you would shut up. So the menu is to find out what they will automatically buy, not to sell. Do not sell off the menu. Because your attitude that sells, now listen carefully, try to get my philosophy here because it set records. It's still setting records. Average person that attends this seminar, their numbers go up dramatically. So the word I use is detached indifference. I don't care if you buy any of this stuff or not. Detached indifference. My job now is to present your financial options. That is the strongest word track in the world. You ever have a customer, Robert, is it Robert or Bob? Robert. You ever have a customer that says to you, I don't want any of that stuff, I know what you're selling here, I don't want any of that stuff. You ever get one of those? You ever get one of those, Pete?
Yeah.
I don't want any of this stuff. Well, I'm about to give you a killer word track. I don't want to buy that stuff. No problem, Mr. Customer. My only job now is to ensure you fully understand the product and the benefits, because we're going to be signing waivers, releases, and hold harmless agreements on this product if you elect to self-insure.
You elect to self-insure.
Self-insure. I'm self-insured, yes, sir. Self-insure I have sold more stuff with the word self-insure, and no problem, Mr. Customer. All these products are optional. My only job now is to sign waivers, releases, and hold harmless agreements on those products you've rejected and agreed to self-insure.
Okay.
I'm telling you, self-insure sold more stuff for me than anything. You like that? That's a killer word. I told you there'd be some killer word tracks in this thing, and that's one of them. Okay. Any questions before I move off the menu? I'm going to come back to the menu when we do disclosure at the end of the seminar, but any questions, anything you have concerns about, any word tracks?
Is that last one in the book?
Probably not.
I just found part of it. Thought it was the whole thing.
It's
The liability release.
the liability release. I'm going to talk about the liability release. Now, I want you to turn to page 151. Everybody got it? Now, by the way, for those of you watching this video at your dealership, you can purchase the F&I book at www.zieglersupersystems.com. You can purchase the book that goes with this course at www.zieglersupersystems.com. How much is the book, Debbie? $60?
Plus shipping.
Plus shipping. Forgot that shipping's a profit. Okay. Page 151. The TILA form, Truth in Lending Act. Is this a pretty impressive government document, Wayne?
It is.
Robert, is this a pretty impressive government document?
Yes, sir.
Well, it's not a government document at all. I created it. But it makes some references, has a lot of legalese language in it and refers to the federal deposit insurance laws and such, you know. It refers to Consumer Protection Act, Truth in Lending laws. Watch how I use this. This is the form I use after the declinations. This is the form we use after the menu. Remember I said I don't sell anything using the menu. But now, Mr. Customer, this is another form that continues disclosure as an additional clarification to the retail installment contract. This is an additional clarification to the retail installment contract we're about to sign, hereinafter referred to as the contract. Now, Mr. Customer, I offered you a parts and labor agreement, and you chose to purchase the parts and labor agreement. Would you please initial here that you accepted that product? And of course, I'm not doing credit life anymore. Okay, Mr. Customer, the gap protection, the guaranteed asset protection, you turned that down, and it's not a product you could come back and buy after the fact. I've seen it do a lot of good things for a lot of people. Now listen to my word tracking. I believe in it. You need it. And if you were a personal relative, I would never allow you to leave here without it. I believe in it. You need it. And if you were one of my personal relatives, I would never allow you to leave here without it. Is there any additional clarification, anything I can explain to you about the value of this product before we sign off on it and move on? This is where I draw out the objections. This is where I get into the conversation on the products. What do you think? What do you think, Steve?
Sounds great.
You like this form?
I do.
This form is I release the copyright to you. You can put your own products in there, and the wording is perfect. The other thing this wording does, watch the bottom of the form. Mr. Customer, read along with me, please. Consumer protection laws require that the above protection options were fully explained to you by me. Accepting these items is not a condition for a loan approval or required to qualify for any certain interest rate. Look at the bottom of this form. The customer is attesting that you legally, compliantly delivered the car and didn't use any illegal tactics. You didn't tell them it would lower their interest rate if they bought this or raise their interest rate if they didn't buy this. It says so right, and they sign off on it. You ever go to court with a customer or have a problem? I explained this whole thing to look at this. They signed off on it right here, Mr. Customer. Now, one thing, you need to be a notary public. Now you can't notarize your own signature. Everybody understand that? You cannot notarize your own signature, but you can notarize a waiver and release that they signed and one of my salesmen witnessed. When you pull out a notary seal, crunch, my God, the man's a government official, Maud. You know, it makes it so much more. It makes it so much more real when those waivers that you've got. And I have a waiver on every product. You know, this was offered to me. I elected not to, but I'll bring a salesman in the office and witness their signature. I won't sign it because you can't notarize your own signature. It costs about $100 in the state of Florida to become a notary public, and similar in other states for those of you watching the videos. It costs about $100 to be a notary public. Anybody that's a U.S. citizen can be a notary public unless you're a convicted felon. So at least half of you would qualify. You know? No problem. No problem whatsoever. Brad, what do you think of this form?
It's nice. Makes you think twice about turning something down, doesn't it?
It doesn't. And
Fear of loss flows.
when you make up your own Furman version of this, make it in two-part self-carboning. So when you print it, you can give the customer a copy in their final envelope. If a customer has a breakdown and says you didn't offer them a service contract, no, yes, I did. You signed off on it. I discussed it with you. I begged you to take it. You know, this gives you full documentation that you compliantly delivered the car. What's your thoughts, Wayne?
Oh, I think that's phenomenal because again, if you do it up at a quarter mile, okay? You have clear, concise documentation that they were offered 100% of the product.
100% of the time.
300%.
I want to go back. Okay, I took you forward. Now we're going to go back. What I want to go to right now and spend a little time with you is the extended service agreement, the parts and labor agreement. Okay, page 25. On new vehicles, and especially used vehicles, I'm going to say on new, you should be receiving upwards of 50% penetration on service contracts. On new. What are you getting right now, Steve?
Between 40 and 45.
Between 40 and 45, so you're close to my benchmark. Where
Probably around 60.
60?
Last month, 52%.
So you're right on the benchmark. And in Florida, you don't have to worry about profitability. Most states are fair market value states, talking to the people watching the video. In Florida, it's considered an insurance product and the state approves the pricing and you can't sell it for more or less, right? But in other states, most other states, it's a fair market value. The most I've ever seen a service contract sold for was $32,000. That was the highest profit service. I didn't do it, no. No, $32,000. That was in Texas. That was on an H1 Hummer. And GMAC at the time approved the contract. Biggest profit deal I'd ever seen. It was also the biggest chargeback I'd ever seen. Yeah. That was at Ron Carter Chevrolet in the old days. You know, yeah, funny stuff.